Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of that board. I started 3 years ago and walked into the room, and it was a little intimidating. I was humbled by the amount of wisdom and intelligence in that room, and I felt like I needed to just take a step back and listen for a long time. And Larry, you were amazing to work with, and so just on behalf of the board, we'd like to thank you again from our perspective in being able to work closely with you for all the work that you did during your time. And for me personally, over these 3 years, to be able to work with you, I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Bob.
So as we get started here, just wanted to look at our mission, which is to effectively resource congregations and schools for transforming lives and making the Great Commission real. One of our first meetings, Pastor Gibson came in and talked to us about policy-based governance. And I don't know if you remember that, but I do very well. And I thought that it set a good tone for us for the past 3 years in understanding as a board what our role was. And our role was to look at what is going on with the policies, what's going on with the administration of the district, and then aid them in helping them and equipping them in moving forward. And so I think that focus allowed us to stay at that level, and it allowed us to give President Stodero the freedom to work and his staff the freedom to work to do the things that they needed to do while we provided the support that we needed to and to offer suggestions where it was appropriate, but then also really be behind the scenes and allow them to do their job. And we really saw that as a big part of our role in making this Great Commission real. So we had some of our focuses during our these past 3 years, moving forward with purpose, mission, governance and organization, staff and deployment, and moving together with collegiality. I'm going to break down each of these four as we go through. Helping congregations be strong and create dedicated servants, find and handle new opportunities, and then reach out to the hurting. So that first one, the purpose and mission. As I mentioned, we wanted to encourage President Stodero in everything that he wanted to try to accomplish during the last 3 years of his tenure as president. And it was interesting going into it knowing that it was going to be the last 3 years. We spent a good time talking about transition and wanting to make sure that as we moved into the next presidential era with our district, that it was set up for our new president, now President Gibson, to be able to hit the ground running and move forward and not have to clean up messes before really doing what he wanted to do. So we tried to work a lot on some of those transition details. So we spent time over the last 3 years doing that. We wanted to really celebrate the work Pastor Stodero had done in that preparing that for President Gibson as he moves into what we are doing. Working together, there's a collegiality that needs to be present within our district. Celebrate the work in congregations, college campuses, paraministry organizations. Sometimes we don't always recognize what other people are doing. We had many discussions on the board level that occasionally we feel like we're on islands, and too often we don't know what somebody a half an hour away is doing, and we don't have the chance to celebrate those successes or work with them through those struggles. And so we want to continue to be a board that works together, that brings people together. And so we worked on that this past 3 years of trying to share those successes, understanding what the struggles were, and then look for ways to link people and help the administration discover new ways to link people together and to strengthen the ones that were already there. A few of those campus ministries, it says UCLA up there, but it's really all, we spend a great deal of time talking about campus ministries as we look to continue to grow and move forward in that way. And then Link LA it was an important discussion point throughout the 3 years, and supporting that ministry of what's going on inside the city of Los Angeles, and how in this big metropolitan area, our church it does not have a prevalent voice, and it's not a big marker within the actual bounds of Los Angeles. Ministry within Los Angeles, we've learned, looks a lot different than a lot of our common parishes. And so looking at the different ways in which ministry could be done, whether in homes, through music, through food, whatever that was, small groups, teaching times, and then helping to support the Link LA projects, helping them to move forward, and then celebrating their successes with them. The region mission councils was another point of discussion, and just a way to support them. We've heard over the last 24 hours about some of the great work that the region mission councils have done. I don't need to recap that again, but know that the board of directors tried to be very supportive of the region mission councils, ask the right questions of them to dig in and to see what they're doing, but then ultimately allow them to do their work and to move forward and allow them and support them in what they were doing. Some new opportunities that were explored and presented and moved forward. One was the approval for hiring of a director of communication and technical support. Many of you have been on the website and see the new website that has been working now for a while and is so much easier to use, along with that other forms of communication, and an area that the board would really like to push forward and continue to move forward is celebrating and communicating, connecting people together, and allowing us to tell our story to each other. We have that improved and enhanced website. We've also approved the hiring of a director of missions for us, so President Gibson, you'll have that opportunity moving forward to hire somebody to work beside him in helping congregations and helping the local church plant missions. So this person isn't going to be the one starting every church, but they're going to be the one going out and working with local churches or working with local ministries to create new ministry opportunities throughout our district, so that we can continue to grow and continue to add ways to reach people for the gospel. Reach out to the hurting. We just talked or had a presentation here about some of the disaster relief. As a board, we were able to respond to some of those things through flooding and wildfires, other disaster responses that we were able to come together with it. And that's really, it's tough to hear that when you're on the board, but it also puts you in a position where you feel like you can help. So we felt like we were in a position, a strong position of being able to help people within our district. We really want the district, as a board, we want the district to be something that is a resource and allow the administration to do their things and do their job to connect and to help people, so that, like I said before, you don't feel like you're alone and out on that island. And I think most importantly here is this vision as I wrap up. And we see the district, again, resource partner to help congregations joining together in worship, whatever that may look like. That may not be your Sunday, it may be your Sunday morning worship, but it may be a different way in which you're worshiping, if that's feeding the hungry or helping the homeless. Learning from each other, understanding those best practices. Some congregations have more resources than others. Some of those resources may not be financial or material. Some of those resources may be ideas or personnel. And so as a board, we want to, again, continue to try to connect people with that and enable the administration to connect people to share those. And then give the resources necessary to serve all of our communities together. So, thank you.